Three more.
Okie dokie. Welcome to our daily devotional video series, Spirit 23. Jesus says, "Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, so shall I be there among them." This brief video devotional is a ministry of Trinity United Methodist Church. My name is Cassie, and today we'll be sharing devotionals from Book 1 of The Chosen. At the end of each devotional, we will offer 3 questions that you can reflect on during the day. Please feel free to share your prayer requests in the comments below. We have an amazing team of prayer warriors who wish to pray for you. Today's spiritual reading will be entitled, Rejected. And he said, "Truly, I say to you, no prophet is acceptable in his hometown." When they heard these things, all in the synagogue were filled with wrath. And they rose up and drove him out of the town and brought him to the brow of the hill on which their town was built, so that they can throw him down the cliff. But passing through their midst, he went away. Luke chapter 4, verse 24 and verses 28 through 30. As the saying goes, familiarity breeds contempt, which means when Jesus went home for a visit, it didn't go so great. He attended synagogue and he volunteered to read. When he sat back down and said, "Today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing," Luke chapter 4, verse 21, they seemed cool with it. Jesus was being gracious enough, odd, but gracious. So they spoke well of him. Verse 22. But then Jesus didn't return the favor. Knowing their hearts, he responded with, "No prophet is accepted in his hometown." Verse 24 of the New International Version. It was a dig. He followed up with a reminder that Elijah and Elisha were sent to heal their own people because it would have been a waste of time. Jesus effectively told his hometown crowd they had the same issue as their Old Testament relatives, and they came unglued. So much so that they wanted him dead. With scant provocation from the guy they've known for 30 years, the Nazarenes became so insanely offended and incensed that they drove Jesus out of town and up a hill so they could throw him off a cliff. They were going to murder Mary and Joseph's boy. Extreme? Yes. Expected? You bet. That day, Jesus had read from the prophet Isaiah, who proclaimed that coming Messiah along with the response the Messiah's presence would engender from humankind. He would be despised and rejected. Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3. Sad. These people knew Jesus. They should have been all the more in awe of God's power and authority clearly on display in him. What the heck else could it be? He was the carpenter who grew up with him, and now he was preaching and healing all over the place. But we tend to reject anything or anyone that represents a big change in understanding or perspective, even if it comes from someone familiar, especially from someone familiar. The notion that what they thought they knew could be wrong was incomprehensible as the notion of changing your mind in a Facebook argument. So they hardened their hearts. They hated him, and they tried to push him off a cliff. In doing so, they fulfilled Old Testament prophecy. He was despised and rejected by mankind. A man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one whom people hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem. Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3 of the New International Version. Oh, the irony. Today's prayer focus: ask God to give you the humility necessary to hear the truth when it's spoken, as well as the wisdom and clarity to know how to respond. Our 3 questions that we offer up to you today are the following. Are you more likely to accept advice or godly counsel from a close friend or from a mere acquaintance? Why or why not? What caused the people to despise and reject Jesus? What was it that caused you to reject him prior to your salvation? When was the last time you changed your perspective or realized that you were wrong about something significant? No. If it's hard to remember, that might be something that you need to work on. I want to thank you for joining me for today's devotional. Really enjoyed having you here listening. If, again, you have anything that you need for us to pray for you upon, please feel free to leave that prayer request in the comments below, and our many prayer warriors will be more than happy to pray for you. May God be with you. Have a wonderful day.